Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So our presentation today is about implementation ERP using SAP Activate method in company Marathon Motors Engineering or MME. And our group member is there is me, Gilang Prasetyo. The second is M. Ghaffari Nurfatoni. The third is M. Garis P. Arsyadi. And the fourth is Sultan Arafat Brivian. So in this case, we present a contextual analysis of an ERP framework usage by a large organization of Ethiopia. Marathon Motors Engineering, or MME, is a huge unparalleled motor development in Ethiopia and has of late received and execute an ERP framework. The contextual analysis additionally takes a gander at the execution dangers and report how MME adapted to the common difficulties that most large associations face while actualizing an ERP frameworks. Next. So this is the introduction. The first is ERP framework usage measure include a wide scope of the config assets and issues. The second, over 90% of ERP usage have been deferred and require extra spending sums because of various changes in the unique arrangement. The third, the significance of ERP in SME and therefore has been met in this paper to break down the usage issues of ERP in the large Ethiopian organization. The fourth, the consequence of the contextual investigation of SAP usage are then introduced. Next, this is an ERP implementation. This is from Let's in 2003, 2013. The usage period of an ERP framework lifecycle start after the framework and the executing accomplished have been picked and close after the frameworks. And from Eden in 2014, despite the fact that the usage stage is the most explored subject in the ERP framework lifecycle, paper enumerating the usage and the exercise performed during the execution are scanned. Next. This is an ERP system implementation page. This is from Ahitluf in 2002 and Bachpa in 2004 and SDFest in 2003. So in Ahitluf in 2002, first is defining of scope, and the second is implementation, the gap analysis, business process re-engineering, identification of complementary, and etc. And the last is operation, stabilizing of support centers, performance of change, the enhancement, and etc. Next. So this is our implementation company in MME, Marathon Motor Engineering. The first is MME. MME used over 5 systems before the ERP project was started. The second, additional system, corporate cost accounting or CCA, was used to financially monitor transactions. In selecting the ERP merchants, MME took into consideration conventional factors. And the last, operational commerce unit or OBU has its claim ERP arranging group, which is mindful for actualizing, working on change and training. Next,
And this is the organizational structure of MMS ARP project team. Next. And this is the MMS ERP data that have project preparation. This project is about implementing the business process of MMS to build in an ERP system. And the document scope, ERP framework of Marathon Motors Engineering, and minimizing the hindrances that happen in stage deals. Next. And this is the MMS ERP data gap analysis, the cycle that happened on this stage. This step is as follow: preparation for fit, validate the accessible solution, deltas ID, prioritizing deltas, forms a deltas arrangement, complete documentation, reference and sandbox framework, and preparing for integration. Next. And this is the business process engineering BPR and modeling. As we can see, the cycle has the carry out the communication plan, data cleaning, design and offers client and security jobs, set up the QA framework, build a test arrangement, do an exhaustive test, business work, switching plans, train clients. Next. And this is the ERP configuration, testing, and security. Have penetration testing, application security testing, network security testing, mobile security testing, and security training. Next. Next. And this is the ERP configuration testing and security or deploy stage. Have dress rehearsal and production cutover, hypercare, and operation read lines. Next. And this is the go live report. The objective of the run stage is to set up the protected. Likewise, this stage is the correct change to design further advancement. The usage procedure can be assessed and created depending on the experience of utilizing the framework. Next.
So this is the analysis of ERP system design of Marathon Motors Engineering. The first one to do is project goals. The goals is to consolidate the ERP framework with the accelerated SAP strategy in every office. And the second one is project scope. The first one is usage of the supply chain management to assemble an ERP plan structure. And the second is creating an ERP framework idea utilizing SAP at MME. And the third step is project procedure and training, project kickoff, and technical requirement. Next. This is the proposed ERP blueprint that we propose from our group. So as you can see, there are 4 categories of this blueprint: customer, manufacturing, and distributing, warehouse, and accounting. There are also binary charts on the credit limit exceeded. So the most categories that have a lot of steps are in manufacturing and distribution. and the process is done on SAP application is the first expected sales order, MERP, CRP, and so on. Next. Next is ERP system implementation. Next. So the first one is system management, and the second one is final configuration and confirmation, and the third one is sign off, and these are is activity and the status from project management, baseline configuration and confirmation, and final configuration until system management, all is complete. Next. So this is the baseline configuration and confirmation. The all activities that we get to is application installation, company data configuration, until final planning, final arrangement testing, and quality check. Next will be explained by Sultan.
So the next is user acceptance sampling test. We are using acceptance sampling test to see if the user can use the system correctly. And then these are the integration tests. And this type of testing of combined component of application to determine if they function together properly. So in the framework, there are five tasks, and the data field, submenu path, and final result for each framework. Each framework task is have a different final result. For inventory database, it has inventory master file, database checking. The result is report about the inventory. Form order is the result is form order. Release order receipt. The result is receipt order. And then the last is the invoice document. The result is invoice. And then these are the risk analysis of ERP system. The maintenance difficulties may occur on bridge legacy systems. There are seven of it. Versus a failure to cut over to the new system through the inappropriate system testing of volume stress. And then opportunity to failure to give ERP adequate priority due to the number of existing and ongoing business improvement. Potential failure or inability to align properties, non-delivery or non-responsibility or related hardware and facilities, the opportunity failure of providing inadequate and ongoing support after the implementation, inadequately educating the workforce to operate the new system properly, and the last is opportunity to failure to cut over the new system through an inability to load data. And these are the management of ERP project as well. There are red, which for MA, and blue is for average, and green is for critical level. And the conclusion of our project is to implement ERP implementation using SAP method in stage. There are 5 stages that are undertaken, namely discover phase, project preparation phase, business blueprint, realization phase, final go live, and support. And as a conclusion, studies toward reporting successful ERP implementation in big companies project should be encouraged. It is the best way to share successful experiences among companies of similar nature, and it will be easy for a student to study about this major. And then thank you. That's all from our group presentation.